All right, so yeah. So the chapter today that we are going to do is success and celebration. Who do you think this person is? The question is, who do you think the person is? Ko hota yo manche? Walt Disney, well-known person. Walt Disney. What is he known for?
He's a filmmaker.
He is a filmmaker, editor, animator. Do you know about Disney? Walt Disney, Disney Park, Disney World. So these are quite famous places in the world where you go for recreation, for to celebrate, to experience. And of course, there are other things also about Walt Disney. Maybe you've heard about Mickey Mouse,
Yes.
those cartoons.
See.
So it is his contribution to the world. We laugh, we enjoy those movies, we do enjoy those cartoons because of Walt Disney. So, an example of struggle and success. Who says life is only success? Life is combination of is combination of
Struggle.
struggle and success, failure and success. You cannot become successful without failing. How many of you agree with that? Right, all of you agree with that. You have to fail. Doesn't mean that you have to fail in SLC. You will fail sometime in life. You don't know when, but you might fail sometime in life. Right? Everything is, we don't walk on the bed of roses. We also have to sleep on the thorns of the roses. Hello? Hungry? Whenever you think about great personalities who started from very humble beginnings, what do I mean by humble beginnings here? Humble beginnings from a very normal beginning, from a very normal background, a difficult background, a difficult, simple background. Right? It's not like he was given billions of dollars. It was not like he was born in a very rich family. It's not like he was given all the opportunities in the world. So the beginning was very humble. कस्तो थियो? Humble, जेहेंदार थियो. Humble. Just like in a normal family or even lower middle class family, where you have to always think about food, where you have to always think about which college to go because the colleges are expensive, right? Some people need not think about which college to go. Some people have that because parents have it. But for those who have humble beginnings, you have to constantly think about what to eat in the evening. You cannot afford to eat what you like every day, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the reality. You cannot afford to think about, okay, which country shall I go tomorrow? Or which country should we go for a tour after SLC gets over? Well, we might go to some place, but it's not going to be like a big place, right? So humble beginning. Humble beginning means a very simple beginning. Humble beginnings. Keep in mind these phrases. Now, whenever you study, it's always about keeping things in mind about the phrases that we are using, so that when you write, you talk about it. All of you have humble beginnings, right? So you can include that in your own essays when you are writing your own essays as well. Humble beginnings and achieved extraordinary success. His beginnings were very humble, but he achieved extraordinary success. Who comes to your mind? Who do you think about? Well, it can be somebody else, but definitely one of them is Walt Disney's name springs to many people's mind. It comes out, it jumps into your mind. It comes to your mind. To spring means to jump, to come suddenly, or to appear suddenly. All right, try to remember as many phrases as you can so that you can improve your writing as well. Walt Disney is known for an extraordinarily successful and creative person. Is known as an extraordinarily successful and creative person. He was a very, very creative person whose visions as an animator, he was an animator, filmmaker, and theme park developer. So there are these parks called as Disney parks. All right, Disney parks, and that's where people go in Europe and America to actually have a lot of fun. So you have these waters and you have those big things where you play. To jatra ma huncha ni. Generally we have during the feast here also. Sometimes during Matriyamushi also we have those rails, and we have those those big rings on which people ride and go around, right? But Walt Disney is actually known for it. It's like whatever you have seen in Matatirtha is just nothing in front of the Disney parks, Walt Disney parks. It's like you feel as if you are somewhere else. Change the entertainment world in the 20th century. When is 20th century, Baba? From 1900? 1000 is called as 20th century. And similarly 19th century is 1800 to is called as we are in which century? 21st century, right? So 20th century and beyond. Yet dig a little deeper into Disney's background and you will discover that his road to success, Baba. This is a road. And it's not easy. Road to success. This is a... Is it easy? What do you think? You are not going to be successful. We are not going to be successful if we are going to sleep 8 hours per day. If we are sleeping during SEE preparation, that attitude will always continue, Raja. Unless, some divine intervention happens and you are made to do something. Yes. But it is your personal effort also. That's why it's important that you push yourself to know your limits. You should push yourself to know your limits. How far can you go? How much you can work? How much you can gain knowledge? Some days you need to have a headache because of your studies. You study so much that you have headache. You know your limits now. You have to check your limits. You have to climb tall mountains, right? You have to tackle you have to try to solve some hard problems. You have to push your limits. By pushing your limits, you expand your horizons. You expand your lines, your horizons, your possibilities. Rajarani Aru. Well, that's how you become successful. And then, success was paved by an unhappy childhood. His childhood was unhappy. Paved. Paved means when you walk up to the school, you see the pavement on the floor, on the road. Pavement. What is that pavement? These are pavements. What is road made up of? The one that you walk on and come to the school. There are these stones, right? That's what we call as pavement. So his childhood was actually made up of what? Unhappy instances, unhappy moments. And along with countless business failures and setbacks. Setbacks means? Setback is also failure. Setback is a momentary failure. When you try to do something and you do not succeed, you become unsuccessful. So that's what it was. So business failed. Countless. Countless means multiple times. Born in Chicago in 1901 and raised in Missouri. So he's born in Chicago in 1901 and raised in Missouri. Disney was the fourth son among the 5 siblings. Siblings mean brothers and sisters, right? Brothers and sisters. They are called your siblings. They are called as your siblings. How many siblings do you have? Only one. What about you? One. Only you. What about Biraj?
Two.
I mean, altogether in your family you are 2.
Yes.
You have 1 sibling. That's what you mean, I guess. Pushpa? 4. Yeah, football team probably. Huh? 6. On the process, it's been half. Now it's a basketball team, and slowly your father is in the process of making it a football team. Well, I'm joking. Substitute. And then we need some substitutes also. For futsal? What about you? 4. What's your brother is in ashram, no? Tarai ashram, and there is another sister also? Only 1. You and your brother. 0 siblings. You are all alone. You are the king of your family. You are all your own. 2? Hello? 3. Yeah. Well, a very junior one. Quite junior. All right? Yeah. So now, he was what? He was the 4th son among 5 siblings. His father Elias was a domineering figure, was allegedly abusive. His father was abusive. Abusive in the sense he was not able to take care of the child properly. He was hitting, probably he was scolding. He was not giving that love that was necessary for his children. Probably even his mother as well. So domineering, he was dominating. He was dominating. He didn't raise children properly. So children felt that they were suffocating. They did not grow freely. They were not getting what they needed in order to grow fully. He was probably drinking. He had a lot of issues and so on. Abusive. Abusive means abusive. Someone who abuses. Someone who abuses. Do you know what abuse means? To misuse your authority, to misuse your power. That's called as abuse, right? He was a father. He was supposed to protect his children. He was supposed to take care of the children. He was supposed to give them food, cloth, clothing, everything, right? He was supposed to give them love, but he was not giving. He was not able to guide them in the right direction. Well, it's not about only giving love. Doesn't mean that, oh, you are nice, you do whatever you feel. It's not that love. Love is something that you dedicate yourself for someone's growth. That is love, right? So abusive. He was abusive. He was unsuccessful to make ends meet. To make ends meet. What does this mean? To find the provisions, the necessities. Ends meet means necessities. Provisions. He was not able to have it. He was not able to make it possible. सबै जरुरीहरूलाई उनले पूर्ति गर्न सकेन. To escape from his stressful circumstance, so what was the situation like? Stressful. Lot of stress. Pressure, tension, stress. When you are burdened, right? As if you were you were completely stressed. Completely what? Stress means You are carrying something that you don't want to carry. You are not feeling free, dominated, right? When you are working too much, also you can be stressed. When you are not feeling free, prisoned, stressful. Circumstance means situations. Circumstance means, so the situation was stressful, and to escape it, escape means to get out of it, right? To get out of it, young Disney found solace in drawing. Solace, to feel peaceful and calm. Solace means calm, to be away from the stressful world, stressful situation. Solace, that's a solace. To feel at solace, to be, he found solace where? How did he find solace? By drawing. He was drawing all the time, so that he was not completely consumed or eaten up by what? He was not eaten up by the stress that he was actually experiencing at home because of his father, because of the situation at home and all that. He would watch his older brothers one by one run off from home to escape their father. He could see his brothers running away from his father, from home, to actually get out of home, to get away from his father. When Disney was 16, he dropped out of the school to join army. So at 16, he could not continue his studies and he joined army, but was rejected for being underage. And he was rejected. He was not accepted in the army. Why? Because he was underage. Underage. What does that mean? To be below required age to do something. Right? You cannot get a license if you are underage. You have to be 18 before you get a license, driving license. So if you are 15, that means you are underage to get a driving license. So when we were studying, we could not write SEE exam if we were not 16. So anyone who was below would be underage, or 15, I don't remember. Instead, he joined Red Cross and was sent to France for a year to drive an ambulance. So he was, of course, for driving, he was not underage, because every country, they have their own rules, right? So he was driving ambulance in France. He moved back to the United States in 1919. So he moved back to the United States. So we say the United States, the United Kingdom, the UAE, but we don't say the Nepal, right? Do we?
No.
I am in the Nepal. No, but I am in the USA. Because look at the way the name of the country is made, the United States. It is this United States of America is made up of uniting all the states. How many states are there in the states? 50. 50. I guess so. There are 50 stars on the flag, so that represents those states. When he returned from war, Disney became an apprentice at the Kansas City Commercial Art Studio. So there was a studio called the Kansas City Commercial Art Studio. So that was about creating some art, creating probably videos and movies and so on, and probably cartoons. So he was an apprentice. What is an apprentice? Someone who is undergoing a training. कुनै चीजमा कसैले ट्रेनिङ गर्दैछ. He's just a beginner, right? You are there as a helper to learn something, to learn a skill. Mm. So in the art studio, he was an apprentice. All right. Itching to set off, he and his older brother Roy launched their own cartoon business. So itching, there was something itching in him, No, this is not satisfactory. I must do something. That was the kind of feeling that he was going through. He was not happy with what he was doing. He wanted to do something. There was something itching him. There was something that was pushing him in the sense. He was being pushed because he wanted to do something. So that's the reason why he and his older brother, what did they do? They launched cartoon business. Laugh-O-Gram. What was the name? Laugh-O-Gram Studios. That's the name of the studio in 1920, but the company went bankrupt a couple of years later. They had no money. Bankrupt means to have absolutely no money. Because if you want to start something and if you are, let's say, from a humble background, you don't have money, right? So you get some money from the bank, you get some money from the people, maybe from cooperative and so on. But if you are not able to pay back, if you are not able to make money and pay the people back, then you are going to go bankrupt. Bankrupt means when you lose all the money, all the assets, and all the money that you have. Assets means also you will lose everything that you have. So when bankrupt, to lose everything. Bankrupt means to lose. Keep in mind right? With the loss of his first business, Disney packed his bags and with just $40 to his name, he just had $40. Can you imagine? Took off to Los Angeles to try his hand at acting. So he wanted to do some acting. So with $40, he went off to Los Angeles where he could try his hands, to try your hands on, to try your hands on. What does this mean? To try out something. To try out. Understood? You can try your hands on, let's say, marketing, bakery, acting skills, and so on. Whatever interests you. So what was his interest? Acting. But he failed at that too. Still, there was silver lining. What does that mean? To his move, there was a silver lining. When you finally arrive at something because you failed too many times, you arrive at something good. You arrive at something good because you have failed many times. That means you cannot fail anymore. When you arrive at something, or when you become successful after repeated failure. You failed many times, now that you cannot fail anymore. That was the silver lining to his move. Noticing there was not any animation studios in California. In California, there were no animation studio. Noticing that, what did he do? Disney convinced Roy to join him out west so that they could set up a shop. Not so after Disney found his first major success with the creation of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So that's the Lucky Rabbit. So he started this cartoon and he started to become successful. Okay. Disney's character Oswald was lucky, becoming a huge star in one reel animation. So because of this animation, he started to become successful, but Disney himself would find his luck had run out. But what happened? Unfortunately, again, his luck had run out. Had run out. What does this mean? The ending of something nice. There was a silver lining and then you run out of luck. You run out of the ending of something nice, something good, something that's going good. So he ran out of luck, traveling to New York to renegotiate his contract. So he wanted to talk again to the people, because when you are doing a business, people need to buy things from you. If the people don't buy, you are not going to make money. If you are not going to make money, you are not going to be in profit. If you are not going to be in profit, what happens? You will not be able to do what you are doing. Right? To do something, you need to sell things. You need people to buy your things. If people are not buying, you are not going to make money. If you are not making money, you are not going to put that money into your work. If you are not putting money into your work, then you are not going to produce what you are producing. If you are making, let's say, chapatis, if people are not buying chapatis, you will not be able to make chapatis. Why? Because to make chapatis, what do you need? I mean, of course, you need money. Why do you need money to make chapatis? Well, you have to buy wheat, you have to buy electricity, you have to buy people who can work with you. For that, it costs a lot of money. People are not going to come and work for you just for free, unless you are running a charitable organization like Ashram. Even there also you need a lot of money. So something nice, right? So he went to renegotiate his contract. He discovered that his producer had taken his team of animators from him, and that he no longer had any legal rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So what was the problem? He had actually taken people from his own company. The person with whom he went to New York to talk, that fellow had taken his own people. Whose people? Walt Disney's people. And he had lost all the rights. Because when you make something, it is your own right? People cannot copy it. People cannot use it without paying. But they had already sold it. So he was running out of everything. But instead of fighting the loss or plotting his revenge, Disney decided to walk away and start over again. He did not fight. He did not revenge. He did not take any revenge. He did not plot any revenge. Goti chal garera kasari badla lini kehi pani garan. Why? But what did he decide? He decided to start off all over again. He wanted to start again. This is hard, isn't it? To start something again. When you put so much of work in life, you give your sweat and blood. You give everything that you have in order to create something. And suddenly somebody comes and takes away that from you. Isn't it hard to get back and start again? It is. It is. It can go this way in life. You can put every blood, drop of blood into some work in life. You may not eat in order to do something in life. You may skip your meals. You may skip your sleep. You may skip your luxury, entertainment, everything. But at the end of the day, somebody comes and says, you have nothing. That's a painful moment. You realize that the world is crazy here. You think otherwise till then, and then suddenly one day you realize, oh my God, the world can work this way also. Well, now you need that courage to stand up again on your feet and then restart. But this time, what will happen? You will be careful. This time you will be a little more careful. Isn't it? That's the thing. And then he created something called as Mickey Mouse, which you know, all of you, right? After years of eating beans and driving up his debts. So he was only eating beans. What was he eating? He was eating beans and driving up his debts. Disney finally brought Mickey Mouse to life on film starting in the late 1920s and earned his way back to the top of his industry. So what did he do? In 1920s, what did he do? Hello? He earned his way back to the top of his industry. So he started becoming more and more successful now. He's back. But it was not easy. Investors, because if you want to create, you need investors. You need people. Who are investors? Investors. Who are investors, Baba?
Invest.
Those who put money in the business. Why do people put money in the business? Can you tell me? Well, if I'm doing something good, if I'm doing a business, why do people want to put money into my business? To make me rich? No. To make me rich? No. Why? To make profit for themselves. Because if they put money, they will get back also accordingly. The amount that they put, proportionally, they will get money without having to do work, just by putting money. Whereas I'm the one who is doing work, right? But they are the ones giving money. That's also risky, isn't it? So they are playing with the risk. So investors, what happened? Investors rejected the concept of famous mouse over 300 times before one accepted it. But the way was not easy. 300 people rejected it. And finally, one person accepted it. Look at this. 300 people. You have to reach out to 300 people in order to have one. That's why, in order to do something good, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And then, even with the success of Mickey Mouse, Disney still faced challenges in keeping his business afloat. Afloat means float. To keep it float. That means make sure that there is a balance between the money that you need to spend and the money that is coming and the profit that you are making. You have to keep all of these things in balance. You cannot spend more and have no money in order to do something later, and there is no business running. More, if there are less people buying it, less people agreeing it, less people putting in money, then you cannot run a business, right? So somehow he was able to, he was not making too much of profit, but he was somehow, in a very difficult way, he was able to keep it afloat, keep it running, barely at the minimum. Not only was he overworked, but tensions with his employer, who eventually stole his longtime and best animator from him, led to Disney having nervous breakdown. So when you start something, what happens is some people might come and take away the best in you, best things that you have. Same thing happened. The best animator was taken away from him. Probably they gave him more money. Somebody gave him more money, and some people saw more profit in it. So there was again nervous breakdown. He was breaking down, nervous, mentally, emotionally. After taking some time off, to take time off means, tell me. I took some time off. What does that mean? To have a vacation, to leave something and take rest, let's say, to leave something for some time, right? Chutti linu. Take time off भनेको chutti linu. So he took some time off, and then after taking time off with his wife to recover, Disney returned with a bold new idea. He would develop a full-length animation feature. So he came with an idea. Okay, I will develop a new film, a new feature, a full-length animation feature. That means it's going to be a big film, just like other films, which he would call Snow White. And it was called as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It would become a huge success at the box office. What is box office? What is box office? Yeah, the amount of money that you make from a film is called as box office. The that you make from a film, right? That's called as box office. So he made a lot of money from there. Yet the films that followed, Inochio, Fantasia, Bambi, would end up being duds. Duds means unsuccessful. But later, those films became, some of the films that these ones, they became what? They did not succeed. Duds mean unsuccessful. Duds mean unsuccessful, to be unsuccessful. If Disney did not already have enough burdens to shoulder, more were on the way. His animators went on strike at the start of the World War II. World War II ko suruma his animators, they went on a strike. They did not want to do things. They said, no, we will not do. And contributed to his mounting debt and ran upwards of $4 million. So he was running out of debt. He was on a debt of $4 million. How much? $4 million. After the war was over, his company was slow to rebuild, but during this time, Disney learned to diversify his business by turning to television. So this time, again, after the war, what happened? He diversified his business. That means he did not only rely on films, he went on to television also. He started creating small, let's say, episodes for television also. So that is diversifying business, not relying on only one thing, but rather to expand your business. This thing. Like in the ashram also, we have our business is diversified, right? We do what? Organic farming. We do guest house. We do many things. Like that's diversification. What is it called? Diversification of the business. Despite pressures of the okay, there was a lot of pressure. His gamble paid off. What was it? It was a gamble. It was a gamble. It was not a straightforward thing. It was a gamble, luck, right? And it paid off. What does that mean? Paid off. Well, it worked. To work. To become successful. For the risk that you take. If you take a risk that you take to be successful for the risk that you have taken. And then with the success of TV shows like the Mickey Mouse Club and Davy Crockett, Disney was able to harness enough capital. Capital means the sum, the money. He was able to gather more money. Harness means to gather. Harness means to gather, to collect, to gather, and then harness, also to let's say you harness, when you climb on the wall, you have a harness on you that holds you. That's also called as harness. All right. So he gathered a lot of money, enough capital to launch his biggest venture. Venture is, yesterday also this word came into our discussion. What is venture, Baba? Venture is to explore. So he explored what is called as Disneyland. What is it called? Disneyland. It's called the park, the Disney park. The Disney park is called as DISNEY, Disneyland. So whenever you watch a film, sometime in the beginning you might have seen Disneyland. It writes Disneyland with some castles and so on, some buildings. I don't know whether you are aware of that. Disneyland was opened in July 17, 1955 in Anaheim, California. Where was it first established? Anaheim, right? Like most Disney's enterprises, it got off to a rocky start. So the start was rocky. Rocky start means, was it good or was it difficult? What do you think? No. Rocky. Rocky means not so good. Not smooth. Not smooth start. Rocky. Rocky start. Forged tickets were bringing more visitors. Forged. Forged means nakali. Fake. Copied. People were selling fake tickets, copied tickets, and that was bringing more people than actually those who have paid the money. You see? Then anticipated adding a line that trailed 7 miles long. So there were people 7 miles long, 7 kilometers, 10 kilometer lamb line. People wanted to come, but most of them were on forged tickets, fake tickets. Can you imagine? With temperature soaring up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, of course, not degrees. Huh? So in where the Disneyland was, the temperature was about how much? 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The new asphalt was melting women's high heels. Asphalt. What is asphalt? What is asphalt? It's what we achieve after the refining, petrol, diesel, the black black semi-liquid, jelly-like substance. The black jelly-like substance is called as asphalt. के भन्छ बाटोमा हुन्छ नि अलकत्रा भर्खरै नराखेको नयाँ अलकत्राले त्यो त when it's 100 degree centigrade, 100 degree Fahrenheit, which is about how much in degree centigrade? 39-40 degrees. What happens? It absorbs a lot of heat, so it becomes very, very hot. As a result, the high hills were melting. Women's high hills were melting. Drinking fountains were defunct. There were some drinking water facilities, but it was not working. Defunct means not working. All right, defunct, not working. And some of the rides malfunctioned, and some of the things that in the Disneyland, those rides, going up, going on a rail, up and down, those were also not working. Some of them malfunction. What is malfunctioning? Not function properly. All right, not to function properly. Critics call the opening of Disneyland Black Sunday. So they say, okay, this is useless thing. There are critics, those who are, critical about that. Disneyland is not going to work. This is a Black Sunday. But as always, Disney's determination and perseverance. He was determined to do something, right? He was willing to go a step further, even when there were a lot of problems. So because of perseverance, what is it? What's the word? Perseverance. Becoming to be consistent, to not give up. What is the word? Perseverance. What is the word? Perseverance turned his latest endeavor. Endeavor is try. Prayas. Right? Work. Endeavor. Right? Endeavor is to try something, is to take something forward, to try, to work. A new project is also an endeavor, you can say. Kune naya project, endeavor. Disneyland became a colossal success. What is colossal? A huge thing. Colossal, huge. Kasto success भयो? Huge success, clearing out his financial debts, and to this day operates as an integral part of his business empire. Business ko sabai cheez ko empire, samrajya. Commenting on the benefit of failure, Disney once said. What did Disney say about what? About to comment, to say something about what? What is he saying about? Benefit of failure. There is always a benefit of failure. That's why don't worry when you fail. There is always a benefit of. What do you think? When you fail, you know. When you succeed, you may not know. All the adversity I have had in my life, all the troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You become stronger by. What do you think makes you strong? You become stronger. What makes you stronger in life? Success? No. Success doesn't make you stronger. Success gives you a lot of confidence, of course, but it doesn't make you strong. Success gives you abilities, but what gives you inner strength? You become stronger by failures. By failures and obstacles. And you start to believe in yourself. You start to believe who you are, what is deep within you. It strengthens you. What does it do? It strengthen. What is it? Strengthen. Failures strengthen us. Strengthen. To make something stronger. That is called as to strengthen. What is the past of strengthen? Strengthened. Strengthened. Strengthen. What is the continuous? Strengthening. Strengthening. Right. You may not realize it when it happens, but of course, when you are failing all the time, you realize what is this nonsense. You are not going to say, "Oh, this is going to make me so strong." You don't think like that, right? It's very, very difficult. But a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. Kick in the teeth. What does that mean? Kick in the teeth. A blow. What is it? A blow. A disappointment. A failure is called as kick in the teeth. Kick in the teeth means a failure, to fail. Sometimes is best for you in your life. Isn't it so? Yeah, that is true. You will realize, you will grow out to be strong. Sometimes it's hard to say it. Sometimes it's hard to really understand why it's so, but that's how it is. Well, again, the lesson this is not what it is in life. Only Laksani, I know. Well, not yet for you probably, because you are too young, and the kind of problems that you have is a little different. But things can happen like this, and it happens for everybody. All right. So, congratulations. How do we congratulate people? Congratulations. Can you check here? Congratulations. Okay. Can you read those sentences so that sometime you will be asked how to write congratulation letter or congratulation message?
You deserve this success. Congratulations, my sincere, heartfelt, warm congratulations to you. I congratulate you on your company's very successful. That is what you did it. So proud of you. You did